So it's really hard to cone this whole thing up. It's like, geez, like this, it's kind of psychotic. So I start halfway and squeeze up. All right, now I'm going to go a little lower and squeeze up. Okay, now this is the part that kind of sucks a little, all right? You got to really grip in. I'm going to like kind of slow my reel speed down. And move up. Now I'm going to do that again. Squeeze in. So you notice I fluctuate my wheel speed when I'm doing that. Okay, I don't want it all just zooming. Okay, because it is a large amount of play. So I slow it down, speed it up a little bit until I feel comfortable. Pushing it down, this is just going to be pretty easy right now. Okay, now it's going to start getting difficult because it's a lot of play. So I lift up, like my elbow's up, but I'm here. Okay, so I'm not like this anymore. I'm like using all my body. All the way down. Okay. Now, I'm really going to push this forward. You're going to hear the back shake a lot. Okay, so I'm centering that side. I'm going to come in on the top and center down. Yeah, you guys are going to have to make play. If I don't feel like this is centering yet, which I don't feel like it's that good right now, but it's a pug log, so I usually don't do too much centering on a really large piece. It's kind of pointless. You oversaturate it. If I can get it generally centered, see, that's pretty good. That's pretty centered. I'm good. This is also something I did. This is like a little bit of excess here. This is going to throw me off. I just tear it off. Okay. Now I'm going to open.
So what's the lowest?
Oh, actually, wait. I want to make this really wide, right? Okay. So I need to center it really wide. I couldn't have widened that and pulled that out that much. So I'm centering up that side now.
What's the minimum amount that you want us to throw per piece or per section?
Honestly, that's up to you guys, however you feel comfortable. I'd like you to challenge yourself
I was going to say, I'll try 5.
with throwing more, but however many sections it takes to do the 16, that's fine. All right, so now I'm definitely wider. I'm making sure that I do the base. Yeah, but I am going to open this one. Yeah, but very similar to that. What I always recommend with throwing large forms and getting used to throwing large forms is don't throw with really hard clay. You're just going to kill yourself. This clay was very nice to start with. Don't do like sloppy, wet, nasty clay, but you know, you notice how I'm backing this with this hand. Okay, it's a lot of clay to pull out. If I pull and don't have that resistance against it, it could really start going all over the place. And then I'm going to work compressing. I don't actually know what this is. An average amount, it looks pretty decent. I'm going to really compress this though. No, I don't think so. It's a lot of clay, so I gotta really compress this and really stabilize it.
Is that,
It was about 3/4 of an inch, I want to say.
and is that how much you want us to have?
You know what? I want to trim this. I know I'm going to want to trim it, but I want to demo it. You kind of can leave that up to you. The thing that always happens to me a lot, is I end up leaving a little too much at my base, a little too little at my base a lot of times, and I can't achieve the trim that I want to achieve. So I like to go a little bit more, especially with a larger form. I know I'm going to trim this, so I want to make sure I have enough. It's really up to you, but I want to give myself that option. All right, so that's pretty compressed. Here comes the pulling. So I'm going to do a knuckle pull. For those who have been in classes with me before, my thumb's up here for the first pull, my knuckles here, and I'm going to really push in. I'm going to lessen up and off, okay? Compress. Okay, now the second knuckle pull. I can't go like this. This is too weird. So I'm like this, and my thumb's this way. That.
That's going to be a problem.
And slowly off. Compress. Make sure you keep this lip rather thick, because my second section will be stacked on top of this. Right. If I have a paper thin rim, it's not going to happen.
If you wanted, could you put a flange on it to, have the lid kind of come away from the stacked?
I guess you could. I mean, do you want them detachable?
No, just not completely seamless.
And they
Yeah.
can tell that you did that.
Yeah,
But depending on what it is,
I would
What you're
see,
talking
I
about
would
having a
see the
ledge that-
intention to do that would be to make them be able to separate if you wanted that. And I think that that's fine. Other than that, I wouldn't see the purpose unless if they were meant to separate.
Because you're going to put them together, right?
Yeah, I'm going to attach them permanently. Why are you confused? The challenge that I always have when I'm throwing larger forms, and I have to say it in my head, like so many times, it's so funny. Even this day I have to remind myself, don't put any pressure with your inside hand. I always have to do it. It's just only when I make big forms. I have to be like, don't put pressure out. For some reason I feel like I think I'll grip more clay or something, but I end up destroying the piece. So it's like every single pull, it's in my head. No pressure with inside hand, just gliding, 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 gliding.
But don't you need to keep that hand rigid?
I do, but it's totally different than me pushing out. Especially when I make this first indent, the tendency that I have is that I push out with my inside hand for some reason. And also, a lot of times when I do really large forms, this inside hand tends to linger behind. And it doesn't follow with it. And I have to consciously feel like, okay, so when I indent, and I feel on the inside, it's like I indent, so this is pushed in and the lump is on the inside, right? A lot of times I'll feel my inside hand slightly fall under that lump, and it should always be a little above it, like a little on the high end of it. If it's not, you won't pull. You're not going to pull the sides, you're going to torque it. So it's like be conscious of what you're feeling on the inside. Well, mine's pretty cylindrical. I mean, I need to go in more, I guess, right? I hold this overall pretty well as of right now, though. It's pretty even. I do need to shape this a little bit differently now. So, that was an air pocket.
I thought it was the wood breaking.
Oh, my God. This is never going to look the way that you're thinking. It's never going to look that. I didn't get it wide enough to start with.
That's all right. Someone, when I did this project in Real Wood a long time ago, and there was a person in there that had been filming for a while, and she did this. I loved what
She did a large stacked section.
Yeah, it was probably about 16.
Were you in my Wheel of One class?
Well, it was with,
Oh,
she
it
was
was
with
one of those
Dan.
extra people that came in on the weekends.
No, she was already, she'd been doing it for a while. She was going to get her art education degree to
Oh.
teach art.
So she was in dance class with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
She older woman? She had like curly hair. She had long gray curly hair. She didn't,
Okay,
she
that's
wasn't
enough.
old.
I thought you were talking about Susan.
But I loved what she done. And it was something along the lines of what I was trying to describe.
Yeah.
She flared out the rim, and then she stacked the same exact pot, but just a little bit smaller inside of it. And then she went up, she did probably about five.
Did all the pots unstack?
No,
Oh, really? Okay.
it was just like a faux, yeah.
Make sure you always get all the water out of the inside. So I'm going to do a totally different shape because this is not going to work to what I really thought it was going to work.
Doesn't always.
So are you leaving the walls thicker than you normally would for like a,
The stability, yeah, a little bit, because I am going to stack another on top of this. So it really cannot be paper thin. It really can't.
What about your base being thicker because you have so much weight and so much?
But I'm not stacking this on top of anything. I'm stacking pieces on top of this.
Alright.
So the bottom being heavy isn't going to interfere with anything. I'm going to trim that too.
so how thick do you think your walls are? Like a,
I would think they're probably about this.
really all the way through?
About a little bit thinner.
Not like you did a plate.
Huh?
Would you take a needle to on the bottom of that like you did with plates?
Hmm.
So because you're not
Oh.
cut it off. No, it'll mess up the shape. I don't know, who's thinking of that gonna pop right off easy?
Yeah, I usually will wait. I'll wait on that. Okay, so this is just a very basic shape. Because I'm hoping that the next shape that I do, actually that would be kind of neat. I could do that, I guess. I could bring this in a little bit more. And then I can do like a tall cylindrical stack on that and have it be like a kind of a bottom, I guess. Sort of tower, I guess. So just bring that in.
Your cigarette butts in.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. There you go. We can put it outside.
Smells so good after you. If I brought that ledge in like this, I want to make sure though that the ledge is flat. okay, for stacking, for my next piece.